Serious, and you're looking for a Christ man, the one who anointed with the Lord, with the Spirit of the Lord, to do His will. I'm that nigga.
One West, 125th Street. Look, y'all put your faith in presidents like they gon' change this country. Run the league and let y'all play, cause y'all gon' make a money. Fuck Obama, he ain't come here on cargo.
Imagine Yahanna don't like no soldiers. Through the Spirit of the Lord, we don't like no soldiers. You understand me?
Like a saint, black, Hispanic, native, they hate y'all as the same. Hate Christ in their image, hate you as a slave. God ain't all love, scriptures say he hate African soft niggas, they know we not the same. School to prison pipeline to get you off the streets. Put you in the cell toilet connected to the sink. Molested as a kid, she prostituted as a teen. The byproduct of Martin Luther King dream. They just took the yoke off, my nigga, we ain't free. We living bleak in these wastelands of poverty. If you don't know the truth, then the lie sound promising. Prophecy, gift and the curse. Dylan started killing, they was sitting in church. Black folk forgave him, man, this shit is absurd. You should never love your enemy, that shit ain't gon' work. Yeah, fuck dying on your knees, you better die in glory. Man, I joined the UPK, taught me the art of warring. I took a nigga life like mine to be recognized. I feel that pain every day, it can't be reconciled. Pops banging, my sister a prostitute. My brother got life, and somehow I still found the truth. War ready, no cowards, no excuse. Fuck reparations, you can't bandage no open wounds. Blood on the leaves, body swing hung from a noose. I was on a run in Nashville when I found the truth. I called the school, classes being held by the shock on my life. I want to be a gangster like a cop. Do this for my brothers, real brotherhood. Everything we do, we got it out this book. My nigga, I can never be no African. UPK the only authorized acronym. I'm passionate about my brothers and sisters. We in hell, I ain't got nothing against them. That's another religion. If it ain't under Yahanna, ain't me murdered by them and got a hug from Yahanna. That's the way out for a coward in my observation. They don't fear the Lord, they indoctrinated. Wolves in sheep clothing, Joe Osteen. Real priests bringing back black royalty. One West on my headpiece, ranking order. Can't let them trick me off the streets, I gotta raise my daughter. I got brothers at the border ducking ICE agents. I got the name change, it was life changing. My family thought it was a game, put on all black, they said I was going through a phase. It's more of us in jail than it was slaves.
Aquí somos la Escuela Israelita del Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Hoy estamos aquí. Lord Commandant General Yahanna na ISUPK.
This is what Commander General Yahanna did. This is what he did. Look at all these brothers.
First camp, I cut off all my dreads. I took an oath when that oil hit my head. Niggas capping like they lids. I'm a priest, I never stick no fork in no pig. I was dead till I found out how to live. This brotherhood taught me how to be a man. I came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church. I had to dig.
That's right.
You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church.
UPK, One West. Babylon is falling to rise no more again. Babylon is falling. Freedom is here, my friend, not just part of the nation. Yeah, our shine never come bring peace, him start of the vision. Now put your trust in the riches and wealth, guns are ammunition. Just the last statutes and commandments, we make the decision to keep them with precision. Just part of the nation. Daniel get a vision, him see the black Christ, it wasn't a white depiction. No allegiance to Rome nor its regions, come out them religion if you want be a free man. Cause the deacons them full of demons, same situation with Rasta with Islam. Only beacon of hope for your lean on is ISUPK and the General Yahanna. Every fowl of the ear, every beast of the field, every creeping thing we creep on land, every mouth of the clear, loud and clear. Yahanna Shai Mashiach is a black man who have fear, let him hear. Time to prepare, spiritually separate from Babylon. We no weak, we no fear, we no tear. Gun Saddam might burn, but him and are just part of the mission. Yahanna Shai never come bring peace, him start of the vision. No put your trust in the riches and wealth, guns are ammunition. I just the last statutes and commandments, we make the decision to keep them with precision. Just part of the mission, send evils and curses on the whole city and the beasts and all churches. America fall, them deserve it. Rome get defeat, history repeat, I know the first thing. Hey, 400 years them work with, then desert with, then turn round and call we worthless. But now the COVID lurking, them hurting, and then the doctors and nurses. Hey, one day to a building of return after the long journey. No care much money you a earn if you still want Babylon burn. One day to a building of return after the long journey. No care much money you a earn. Hey, I just part of the mission. Yahanna Shai never come bring peace, him start of the vision. No put your trust in the riches and wealth, guns are ammunition. I just the last statutes and commandments, we make the decision to keep them with precision. I just part of the mission.
For homicide detectives, the clock starts ticking the moment they are called. Their chance of solving a murder is cut in half if they don't get a lead within the first 48 hours.
I do anything to keep my brother safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. You will find me on the first 48. Find me on the first 48. I do anything to keep my daughter safe. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. Sitting in that room, hear the interrogator's voice. They asking why I do it, I tell them I had no choice. Couldn't take a threat or a risk to my family, so throw the book at me, I take them charges happily. Ain't no need for no polygraphs or forensics. I put that fucker in a body bag, I'll admit it. Fuck a sentence or the jury that will convict me. They don't understand, it's my family, they represent me. So for them, I risk my freedom, roll the dice. I ain't got much more for you crackers, go ahead and give me life. You don't know what it's like for the people that you love. They ain't there to give salutes, they ain't there to give you hugs. The same that done pulled me from the dirt and from the mud, it's gone because of who? Y'all rather shed your blood. My brother's kids like my other kids. If you touch them, fuck around, get another bid, plus 10. Put me in the Supermax, I get super jacked, working out every day, canteen super stack, cool with that. Long as it mean my daughter's safe, my brother's winning, that's a chance I take. Still my fate, I do anything to keep my brother safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. I got wives that done gave they all to stand beside me. Kids that can't see me fall, look at me proudly. Respected by men with honor up on their names. You harm one of them, I promise that you'll see pain. I'm one West train, made an oath to uphold it. Stood with my back against the wall, never folded. Grew up in the city where the love ain't brotherly. I ain't had too many friends, I ain't need the company. I'm my father's son, so I'm cool, just don't fuck with me. I say that you my homie, you're my brother, then you stuck with me. Never turn my back on mine, it's to the dirt. You cross them across that line, I end you first. What only make it worse is loyalty hard to find. Never think cause you out of sight, you out of mind. And I don't mind dying now, cause reincarnation got me coming back. Same scars in my heart aching. Be parlaying with killers from all places. Every last one of them for me a broad day shit. So what you think, I won't do it for them? Once they let me out the cell, shit, I do it again. It's for the family. I do anything to keep my brother safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. Find me on the first 48. Find me on the first 48. I do anything to keep my people safe. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48.
See, I was born to be a soldier. See, I was born to be a soldier. See, I was born to be a soldier. I was born to be a soldier. Hey, hey. See, I was born to be a soldier. I was born to be a soldier. See, I was born to be a soldier. I was born to be a soldier. See, I was born to be a soldier. I was born to be a soldier. See, I was born to be a soldier. See, I was born to be a soldier. Left, right, left.
I can tell you what it feels like when them problems kicking in. I call it real life. Now I'm feeling trapped. Who can I trust? Second guessing everything. Who can I love? I remember sleeping on the floor, ready for whatever. I was sleeping by the door. I was down bad, didn't want no one to know. I was on my own, didn't have nowhere to go. Everything I seen was a test. I was born to be a soldier, nothing less. This is the life that I chose. This the life that I chose. This the life that I chose. This the life that I chose.
See, I was born to be a soldier. I was born to be a soldier.
This is the life that I chose.
See, I was born to be a soldier. See, I was born to be a soldier. See, I was born to be a soldier. I was born to be a soldier.
This is the life that I chose.
See, I was born to be a soldier. See, I was born to be a soldier. Left, right, left.
All black is the uniform. Soldiers dead and gone, I'm forever pouring liquor for them. Try me on my brothers, and I'll be moving bodies for them. Came up out the struggle and maintained through the storm. Niggas dying for dead presidents, fucking up their residence. White man dirty tricks, they call this shit politics. Vagabonds, and they some natural born lunatics. That what they is. They shut you down when you speaking truth. It black boots when you in the truth. It black boots when you in the truth. This is the life that I chose, nigga.
See, I was born to be a soldier. I was born to be a soldier. See, I was born to be a soldier. See, I was born to be a soldier. See, I was born to be a soldier. I
a Palestinian committed a terrorist attack in America last night and is getting no news coverage.
As far as any structural, I mean,
I haven't been in yet. I just got here.
Of course I did it on purpose. You think I'm crazy? No, I am not. Because seriously, this is at least what I can do. Because I'm gonna kill myself if I don't do something with watching children genocide every freaking night. And when you get up in morning, evening, just seeing people dying. Yes, of course. I don't do anything, I'm gonna really have a heart attack sitting in my freaking chair. I can't. This is at least, I'm not hurting anyone. I'm just freaking getting my anger out. I can't. I'm gonna have a heart attack. Maybe, yeah. Maybe you should do something. Freaking country support freaking Israel, the #1 country supporting the genocide. Maybe you have to do something about it. Stand up for the right side and really look at the freaking right freaking news. Maybe you should do this.
Yes, sir. Can I get your information real quick?
Guys, I'm sorry. I wish I could do more for my country.
These are brothers in the building, brothers in the school.
Step up here because she's talking too loud.
We are not associated with the white Jews or the Caucasian Jews or none of that over there. I'd like to see her face if I could.
Well, she's not letting me freaking fix my hijab, my cover.
Hey, Shalom, Israel, what's going on, man? Priest Captain Dohar here, standing with Officer Tabawan. We coming from Hollywood, California. Just off the BBC interview, letting everybody know that the ISUPK is going to take over, man. But check it out, this is what I want you to do, right? Command General Yahanna just dropped a new YouTube channel. The most controversial man in America, man. Subscribe to his channel, America on Fire, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Shalom.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Shalom, escucha.
Esté atento hoy a la negra vista a las 9 de la noche.
You heard it, la verdad. Shalom. Real time, man, shit. Make sure you let these niggas know what time it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Get on this motherfucker. Let these niggas know what time it is. You understand? We royalty. What's the
King Ty really one of the realest. I survived drive-bys from them killers. Like I got 9 lives, I got 9 wives. I said fine wine with them bitches. I'm spitting fire bombs in your city. I got like 8 or 9 niggas with me. And we all ready to die in a minute. One West, we the best in the business. I get offended, I fuck niggas fended. Talking they get it, but niggas is timid. Rappers is softer than linen. Catch me out parking lot pimping. What more could I give them? I've been the hottest forever. Why would I lie about cheddar? I could do better. I just put loyalty first. Royalty coming whenever. Pull off in the Jetta. Curvy, she on me, you sweater. My I feel like wearing a sweater in summertime weather. Hate is so salty, no pepper. You not that seasoned or clever. I'm with the rebel. Used to pump bass with the treble. Baking a cake in a kettle. I used to cook up the work. Now I just cook with the metal. Gotta keep foot to the pedal. Yeah, let me give it gas on the highway. Let the music blast on the calm day. Break the Glock down into 3 parts. Put the 3 together like my Najee. Sipping like Bombay with my enclave. Got my mind made. Ain't no time waste. No. Eating prime steak with a fine date at a fine place. Getting violated.
Hey, listen. I already told these niggas. You understand? I called up King Ty. He say, what's up? I said, what's good, my lord? Listen, he like, listen. These niggas ain't ready for none of this. You understand? I said, listen, if the nigga ain't one West, he ain't got it on his arm or his chest. I don't give a fuck about the nigga. It's just me and my niggas. We royalty, yeah.
I got the hammer, you running, man. Come through your window like rubber man. Snapping your neck like a rubber band. Talk to my jaw like the sun is standing. He told me murder you rappers. Uppercut sending you vertical actors. Y'all got me coming with verbal attackers. I might attack you type physical too. So y'all be rhyming the way y'all be shining. I'm blinding these rappers like Mr. Magoo. These haters miserable, we indivisible. Look at these haters like they got no clue. No clue. They hold up ones and them W's. Really, bro, don't get too comfortable. If you ain't cut from the cloth, co-signed by the Boston, we do not fuck with you. Cause you wouldn't last here. I told you the same shit last year. Already told. Keep talking that trash, I have a car, come kick your ass in. Already know. Your jaw like glassware. We pull up, not rocking no mask there. Don't care if you spot us, you know how you got us. It's over, you saying your last prayer. Go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, Akim?
Good.
You know what I mean? Holding it down game for Command General Yahanna, hottest working man in Israel. You know what I mean? We'll see how it goes. We might get a blessing tonight. Might not.
What's on
You know what I mean? But we're gonna hold it down anyway. You know what I mean? Saturday night, the usual suspects on the inside. Not Kaiser Souza, the usual suspects, but the real usual suspects.
That's
right.
right.
I mean? We're coming back again to give you the stuff you ain't gonna get nowhere else but from the Israelite School at UPK on the Command General Yahanna. Yeah, I mean, as per usual, we have on the inside Captain Nathan. Y'all give it up. Y'all holding down all the Carolinas. Yeah, I mean, the makeup of how much holding the whole thing down. It's a Passover himself. Yeah, I mean,
right.
Next thing you line up, we have Captain Kahan rocking on the whole South. What's going on, Kahan?
What's going on, Cap?
Yeah, man. Of course, we are Captain Quam holding down the West Coast, Pacific Northwest, like way of Southern Cali. Yeah, man. For sure. I mean, we are a 2-for-1 special officer, Warrior Zach. Yeah. When the movie coming out, Chav? When's the movie coming out, Chav? I see y'all. Listen, I know that. Look. And I want to I know that. Some you're gonna make some father-in-laws very happy later on when we go back to that. Guess who I met today? Officer Warrior and Officer. I feel it. Yeah, I mean, you're looking good. You're looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over the so I'm holding down, bring it up to Trinidad.
That's right.
Salakia said I look like a chariot riding.
Listen, I try to tell you, man. Let's plan the whole thing. That man say, I know what we're going to do. We're going to sit on in front of that wall. We're going to get that smoke up. The suede and the velour. Yeah, when you get that piece of warrior, a little velour with the cowhide. Damn. Good night. All right, so where we going? What we doing? Is we fought with stories tonight. Damn. Yeah, man. What you all feel like? You can start anyone. We try to get through a good few of them because they're for short a while. You know, I mean, I definitely was able to check them all out with most of them. Yeah, man. They're finding. Listen, they're gonna find out that the whole of America is just a big graveyard. Every other day is some new mass grave they're finding. They're gonna find out, like how Commander Yahanna said, beneath them tiles, beneath them little, sidewalks is the bones of the Native Indians. The whole country is a graveyard.
Right.
And the whole damn country.
As you're saying that too, it's such a coincidence that all of this coming up too because of what the Israeli doing to the Palestinians across too with a grave. They say that they're digging up them bodies with them big what do they call them? Them big trucks they're using across there. And they say they're just running over their body, you know what I mean? They're digging them out of the grave. Like they're just making everything, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, they're desecrating everything. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They learn from America. You understand? They learn well. They learn that type of behavior from America. Because as I say, this place is just a graveyard for them Native Indians. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You mean to tell me like somewhere in Munich or Hamburg or one of them places in Germany, Stuttgart somewhere, that you mean to tell me that you could go and have a construction site to build a school, and while you put in the foundation, you could find 300 bodies of Jewish people, and the whole country don't get shut down? Nah, something wrong, man. Something wrong. Something wrong. Something up with that shit. Like that's crazy. That's crazy. If you all want, we could start with that one for sure. You know what I mean? Definitely start with that one. Go ahead, Cap, please.
Yeah, if I may, it's like what Cat and I thought saying, like that happening. It's like a classic case of the left hand not showing what the right hand is doing. Like look over here and see everything and try to sweep under the rug those mass bodies that are just piling up to just limit the traction that you normally get if it was another nation. But because it's us, it's something that you can always sweep under the rug. Because it's us, it's something that is just, oh, that's supposed to happen. That's normal. It's normal to know about dead bodies of us, alive bodies of us. But when it comes to them, all of a sudden we have to now show love and consideration. And we have to be keen to understand these things because this is going to continuously happen. This ain't the only, mass grave of bodies piled up. I know they were talking about it a while ago. Some Native Indian bodies found underneath some churches, Catholic churches not too long back. You know what I mean? So it's just another story of us as people being hid, as far as in our past and destruction being hid from these other nations and being quiet in silence. But that was it. Salaki.
Nah, you're right. You so right. You know what I mean? Like they and listen, the narrative behind exactly what you say in that Kwam is better they fill up the graves than waste taxpayers' money in the jail. That's how these oppressors would look at it. Like don't even waste the coffin on them. Just put them in the hole, whatever. Like that's really where it's going with us. Like they would just rather get rid of us. It's damn near like the early 1900s, late 1800s again,
where we were seen as a problem on society after quote unquote abolition of slavery. You know, I mean, wanting to get rid of us by any means. Like that's how this thing here is going to be seen. And boy, to have this in an election year, I'm trying to tell you. You know what I mean? The circus gonna be out. So we could start with that one and all, Kim.
Yeah, definitely.
Slug, sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, Kawaka, sir. 121 unmarked graves in a former black cemetery found at U.S. Air Force Base in Florida, officials say. As many as 121 unmarked graves in a former black cemetery have been discovered at a U.S. Air Force Base in Florida, military officials confirmed. A non-intrusive archaeological survey performed over the past 2 years at MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa identified 58 probable graves and 68 possible graves, base officials said Thursday. The Tampa Bay History Center notified MacDill officials about the possible black cemetery in 2019, and the base hosted a memorial service in 2021, dedicating a memorial on site to those buried there. We know, obviously, there was wrong done in the past, but we're working together with our community members, base spokesperson Lieutenant Laura Anderson said. We want to make what was...
Please. Could you read that line again from the we?
Kawakan. We know, obviously, there was wrong done in the past.
Obviously.
Right.
It's obvious. Like now it's obvious. Like before, this is in Florida, where you can't teach, what they say, no critical race theory in schools.
Yep.
This is Florida, where they, you know, the textbooks is saying not the slave trade, but migration. But obviously, wrong was done in the past only because you catch red-handed.
Right.
Like, that's crazy. Once again, show me the German newscaster or military officer who would say, well, you know, obviously there was a little, you know, we got a little out of hand in the past.
And as you're saying that too, Cap, that's proof that the Bible is real and is for black people. That Jeremiah 14:2, it says that, our gates are languish. This is proof that the gates languish. Where's your leadership coming out and saying, hold up now, we know wrong was done in the past, but what you're going to do now, what we're going to do now? Now ain't just, now, without leadership, they're just pushing paper and language, and no repercussion coming from, mistake. 121 on my grave means you don't have respect for black people and never did have respect for black people. Right. You understand? This says a whole lot about who we're dealing with. And the more and more these news come out, the more and more we see that we are living in a worse condition than these Palestinians, and nobody cares. You understand? Right. Nobody going to the ICJ or none of the courts, trying to get America to pay for the crimes they committed against black people. Hispanics and Native Indians. Nobody going to the court, but everybody want to go to the court for the Palestinians when half the things that took place with black people in America, in the Caribbean, half that ain't even happened to them people. Right. You understand? To the Palestinians. But everybody crying for them. Where's your cry for this? For these buddies? Right. Oh, it happened in the past. Well, October 7th, that happened in the past too. Forget about it. Right. Let's push paperwork. Let's push paperwork and have diplomacies. And that's it. Don't fight. Everybody go home. You know what I mean?
So, Rocky, if I could, Cap, what you're saying is so heavy.
You know, but at least they saluted the flag. You know,
Yeah.
at least they saluted the flag on the U.S. Air Force Base, and that's what it's really about: saluting the flag and patriotism. But you standing on the graves of our people. You know, you in an unclean position because of slaughter and murder. You understand? If they're unmarked,
Right.
there was a reason they were unmarked. Just call it a massive grave. That's what you see. They don't want they don't want to use those war terminologies and those, you know, there's a certain terminology they use when there's war crimes committed or crimes against humanity. Just say a mass grave was found under the U.S. Air Force Base. See, they know how to sanitize these words. 121 unmarked grave. No, it was a mass grave that was found under the U.S. Air Force Base. Let's just keep it real. The same thing that's going on in Mississippi. It said the number went up to 671 bodies now and counting.
You're lying.
It just came across my desk 2 days ago that the number has went up. They said they want to try to stop it at 671. No, for the UPK in Mississippi, we adding the words and counting. Okay? We adding the words and counting. Because this is what goes on in this ungodly, God-forsaken place.
Right.
And then, you know, just to let the audience know that the UPK, we on the ground, we got someone that used to work for the Hines County Police Office, police department, that's willing to go behind the scenes, of course, anonymously, and tell the UPK and tell the audience about all the things that they know and the things that they're trying to hide. And this person has been targeted. So you're going to get groundbreaking information coming to you straight from the UPK and someone who worked for the fire department. It's all kind of things going on in this place, man, that nobody want to talk about, but they can't sleep at night. They want to say, get this off of their mind because they know what has been done to our people is wrong.
Right.
You understand that they're willing to come and see, that's what you Christians don't understand. You want to talk about confessing Christ. Confession has danger attached to it. So like I yield.
So like if I may.
Go ahead.
So like Cap, I just wanted to say, and what Cap Gahan is saying is so heavy. Just to give you some precedence in what has happened before. Like how Captain Kahan was saying, they sanitized how they reported this. When you go back to 2003, a mass grave was found of 629 Bosnians from the Bosnian-Herzegovina war back in the 90s.
Right.
The way they reported about this is not the same way they reported about those mass graves. One was a genocide, one was war crimes, one is just a circumstances of mishap. We stumbled upon, you know, different graves, just unmarked graves, when reality is, like Captain Kahan said, this is a mass grave, and there's no telling what happened to those brothers and sisters in the ground. And this is just for all those brothers and sisters out there that ignorantly want to believe that we can forgive what happened to our people in the past. You don't even know the damn full extent to try to forgive something. You don't even know the full extent. We just now finding out about the unmarked graves, and trust and believe, these are all over America with our people. You don't know the full extent to try to want to forgive something. Christ is going to require our brothers and sisters' blood right here for this right here. So
Can I say one thing off what you just said, Kazakama, if I could, Captain?
Yeah, please.
It's so heavy. And see, you gotta understand what you just said was so right. See, Florida, you gotta understand, you had the tribe of Reuben in Florida. Reuben fought many wars against the military. You know what I'm saying? This could be some of the Seminole Indians that's buried down there. I mean, it gets deep, like you said, Kazakama. Like if you want to forgive, well, guess what? You better start digging.
Right.
Because it's gonna get deep. So you don't understand what that word forgiveness that word has been watered down. But you know what I'm saying? But what I've come to find out, and I'm seeing this more and more, and thank the Lord for the truth, Command General Yahanna and the generals, the captains and the officers and the sisters that's out there that's doing great work. Man, the Holy Spirit is so true. It's so real. Because the truth will always have an advocate, no matter how much you try to suppress it.
Right.
It would always have, no matter how many lies are told, it will always have an advocate. That's why in Luke chapter 19, Christ said, look, when the Pharisees said, you know, rebuke your servants, you know what I'm saying? He said, if they hold their peace, the rocks would cry out. The stones would cry out if they hold their peace. So the truth is going to come, and it's going to come from some of the most unsuspecting places and people. You understand? And that's what they don't understand. The very thing that the Pharisees and Sadducees use for judgment, to stone someone, that would cry out and say who Christ is. So they need to be careful.
Right.
So like I yield.
You damn right. If I could, right on the what Kazak reference there, that was that Kosovo war with Chechnya, Bosnia and Chechnya, and the phrase they touted at that time, I remember that very, very clearly. The phrase they touted at that time was ethnic cleansing.
Yeah,
that was the phrase they touted at that time, ethnic cleansing. And somehow, like you say, they sanitize and they do that predatorial journalism, like Kahan called it, for us, where, you know, we know wrong was done in the past. You know, we obviously, like, you know, like it's so, you know, it's so everywhere. Everybody knows it's obvious that, you know, wrong was done in the past. Not everybody don't know, because y'all tell us forget about it.
Right.
Y'all tell us forget about it every day. And correct me if I'm wrong. This grounds here, it was a legit black cemetery before, and they had put a memorial up or something. I think that's what you read. Like, it was like part of it was there was a black cemetery there, and it looked like the Air Force Base took over land. But now, go ahead.
So, like, sir, okay, what it's saying is they're trying to say that they believe it to be a black cemetery. I think this is even part of them trying to sanitize it by saying they just happened to build on a black cemetery to try to, you know, cover the tracks of it being.
Listen, it's definitely one or the other. Either this is some hidden mass grave from all the, you know, ethnic cleansing that was going on in Florida,
right?
Or they done stole the land off of black people, you know, built up over the graves, and now that they're doing more, they're realizing, oh shit, we never thought we'd dig up this part, and all this is, you know, it's coming out. Whatever the case is, the Lord is revealing something unclean to you right now. Absolutely unclean about this whole place and how they deal with us and how they treat us. You know what I mean? If I could just get two scriptures, give me Revelation 11 and 8, and let me get Ezekiel 37. Please.
The book of Revelation. The book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of that great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
You understand? And that's America. America is Sodom and Egypt. That's what this place is. And now our bodies is being laid open bare. First we was getting slaughtered in the streets. First we was getting slaughtered for sport in the streets. Now the history of them slaughtering us for sport is laying out for everybody to see there. And more of these things are going to happen.
Right.
More of them going to happen, because now it's damn near like a snowball. The more you find is the more people going to talk, and more people. I remember we're in the age of the internet now.
Right.
Anybody make a TikTok about something in, you know, the back of Idaho, somebody going to go dig it up. You know what I mean? Let me get Ezekiel 37 too, please.
Which verse, sir?
Give me 12.
Come. Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 12. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel.
Go ahead.
Kawakam, and ye shall know that I am the Lord when I have opened your graves, O my people, and have brought you up out of your graves.
Right now, of course, this is talking about the vision Ezekiel had with the valley of dry bones, and can these people live again? But shit, the Bible is straight up alive. The Lord is revealing this to us. Is revealing this to the world. While everybody is crying for Gaza and Israel and Palestine and Tel Aviv and Golan Heights, and listen, man, the Lord is opening our graves for you to see. For you to see the atrocities that was done here when there was no social media, there was no TikTok, there was no drones to fly over, there was no immediate reporting. There was a time when nobody would care while, like Bokhan and Kazakh was bringing out Reuben and God down there getting laid out. And all the slaves getting laid out, and all the free people who made, little things for themselves, cities for themselves, and places for themselves, or commerce, getting laid out and gone missing. The Lord opening out them graves now.
Right.
The Lord opening up them graves now. Why? So we could wake the hell up, man. We could wake up. We could wake up out of slumber, because this oppression got us sleep.
Right.
There was a time America's comfort was rocking us to sleep. Now the oppression is having the same effect. The oppression make you just want to hit snooze and pull that cover over your head, boy. Go right back to sleep. Like, that's rough. That is absolutely rough. And they will never link these bodies to actual living people today. That's the other thing they do. I come and say, Salaki, I heard it, brother. They would never, ever say, well, this is the family of so-and-so, and they will be able to know. Let that have been any other nation and people, you would have seen them fine in the family lines. And talking about reconciling. But for us, they'll never do it to make it feel like these people was dead long time ago and they have nothing to do with us, when that's a lie. Salaki, Salak, go ahead.
No sweat. Salaki, what I was thinking about, just looking at this Air Force base, right? This is 2 hours outside of Rosewood. And if you understand what happened in the Rosewood massacre, you got to only imagine in your mind, like, this Air Force base was open in the 1930s. You know what I mean? So you got the 1930s, you got the 1920s when Rosewood happened. This smells like cover up to me. Like, you think about this, the oppression that we've had to deal with, and the lies, and how many people were being unalived in the South, and Florida to be exact. Like, this is like the statutes of limitations are up. Yeah, we got caught. Let's sweep it under the rug and move on. That's what it sounds. That's what it smells like. You know what I mean? And this is something to pay attention to, especially knowing that we've never received love in this place. This is a pure example of no love for your people, for us as a people in this earth. You know what I mean? If this doesn't make your stomach hurt, this doesn't make you want to, this doesn't make you sad in so many different ways, and you need to check who you are as a person, because your people are in those graves. These are your ancestors, your grandmothers, your uncles, your fathers. You know what I mean? Our people. And it's just getting swept under the rug. And if we don't, in the UPK, point out these things, man, nobody is going to hear about this. Nobody's going to want to care about our destruction and death. And it's going to just be left as a memory that is soon to be forgotten. And I just want to say the water to you brothers and Commander Yahanna, because without these type of things being brought out, man, we would not remember, like the scripture says in Baruch, the prayers of the dead Israelites. You can think some of them brothers and sisters probably prayed for us to be able to speak on their behalf. But I yield.
Hey, that was heavy, yeah.
Can I say one thing?
I think that.
Let me go ahead, Salaki.
No,
go ahead, Khan.
Go ahead, Khan.
The water cap. So I just wanted to say, like what everybody been touching on, man. I just wanted to once again give a shout out to Officer Tazadakia and Officer Ash Bagarumia in Mississippi. you know, making that connection, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, like you said, Captain Kwong, a lot of people, they, you know, they want to tell these stories. You got some people, they basically walking history books in some of these areas, man, and they know what did happen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and thanks be the Lord
Right.
for righteous leadership, because I almost want to, you know, rent a bulldozer and get on top of it with a bullhorn and drive through and drive down there and just start, you know, get the brothers and okay, we got our own, we about to do our own excavate now. You know, we got the
Right.
bulldozer,
Right.
and you know, and you can, you know, we just start, you know, kicking up dirt. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
the more dirt we kick up, the more bodies we find. The
Right.
more all these things are coming out, man, you know, and it's like the scripture said about with Cain and Abel, you know, he thought that it was, you know, it was over with once he killed him, but the Lord told Cain, your brother's blood cries out from the ground.
Right.
You understand? They don't understand that the Lord, you know, the testimony of the saints is still intact. And like Captain Shock said, those people had lives. That was somebody's mother, somebody's daughter, somebody's father, somebody's brother. You understand? Those are our ancestors, and that is what this place is built off of, man. So what do you think is going to happen when the resurrection happens? That's what nobody want to talk about. You're going to start to see, like I said, the Bible, like he going to bring all this stuff out, man. We in the last days, brothers and sisters. So I want to just implore everybody, aside from this story, I want to implore everybody to go to ISUPK Mississippi, man, and because we're going to be dropping them interviews soon, and you're going to be shocked. You know, it may go viral, who knows? But this we got some first-hand accounts of what has been going on. Some the news don't even want to touch down there. Like I yield.
That's why. Yeah, come on. Make sure that they tag everybody and share that around once it come out too. But that would be good to hear, you know, from on the ground. That's gonna be unfiltered. You know what I mean? That's gonna be unfiltered. Before it catch the hands of the NBCs and the CNNs. That's gonna be straight from the horse's mouth. You know what I mean? So where we going? Where we gonna go next?
Like, y'all want to touch on that story of the lady getting kicked out, the congresswoman getting kicked out in Cuba?
Brother, you read my mind, Doc. I definitely want to touch on that one, bro. I definitely want to touch on that one. Let me see. I believe it's a video. There might be a article you could Google to go along with it, but I believe it's a
it's a video concept.
Yeah, we definitely have the video. Hold on, let me see if we could line it up. So of course, again, our election year, everybody's showing the tail to try to, you know, gain points and gain mileage, you know what I mean, in this political climate. And that's really what that was about. That what's her name? Something Salazar, I forget her damn name. No, not Barbara Lee. The one who kicked her out, who's on the quote unquote on behalf of the, you know, the Cuban nationals. I think it's Salazar is her name, right? She may or may not even believe what she's fighting that point, but what it is, she's on the Republican ticket, and Florida is strongly Republican support, but is not Republican popular, like meaning down there is a dogfight. So she's definitely trying to pander to the Republican demographic and to Trump. She want to make sure Trump sees this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sir.
She want to make sure Trump sees Maria Salazar, because this has nothing to do with the actual policy. And you'll see why I say what I'm saying. This has what you see, what you're going to see happen here has nothing to do with the actual policy.
This was Negro Know Your Place.
It seemed like a regular hearing on Capitol Hill until this happened.
Chairwoman, I wanted to ask unanimous consent for Representatives Debbie Wasserman Schultz of Florida and Barbara Lee of California, both senior members of the Committee on Appropriations, to participate in this hearing.
Thank you.
No, that Wasserman Schultz, if I could, I believe she's Jewish and she's a Democrat. Barbara Lee is also Democrat, right? And they're about to come and present certain points of view to try to lift all the embargoes and the way the policies, the foreign policy concerning Cuba.
Request, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. It's more than welcome. Barbara Lee is not.
The chairwoman of a House Foreign Affairs Subcommittee, Maria Elvira Salazar, refused to hear from Barbara Lee, a leading Black Democrat in Congress. The subject? Cuba.
Barbara Lee has been friends with Fidel Castro, is not a friend of the Cuban people that we are trying to liberate.
I'm an African-American woman who has a point of view where in a democracy, those point of views are allowed. And you are doing exactly what you say the Cuban government is by denying me the opportunity to present my point of view. What is wrong with this picture?
I would love to have this same type of political discourse in Havana.
Let's have it in Havana. If we normalize relations and have normal diplomatic relations. Why don't you raise his autocratic tendencies?
Wasserman Schultz, a Democrat who supports sanctions like Salazar, walked out with Lee, even though she was welcome to stay. Inside the hearing, Lee's colleague said her opinion on Cuba needed to be heard.
That Barbara Lee is not a pawn or a puppet or part of a scheme of Cuba. She is a Black woman who was just silenced.
Another colleague read out Lee's statement.
This is a statement for the record by the Honorable Barbara Lee of California, and I'm outraged that Chair Salazar has taken the unprecedented step of objecting to me participating in this discussion. I've been working on United States policy towards Cuba for 4 decades.
Lifting sanctions on Cuba has long been an uphill battle in Washington, even for members of Congress. Lee may have been silenced over her pro-engagement views, but calls to lift sanctions on Cuba from her colleagues were still loud.
As President Obama recognized, the embargo on Cuba has not only failed to advance U.S. interests, but has had devastating humanitarian effects.
U.S. policy toward Cuba seems perpetually stuck in the Cold War, held hostage by those who are still in their feelings and who seemingly want to cripple the country entirely with little regard for whether it advances U.S. interests or increases the suffering of the Cuban people.
Hearing.
No, listen now. I mean, y'all tell me. I think that was blatant and straight to the point about what really going on here. This ain't got nothing to do with Cuba.
Right.
You know what I mean? Y'all tell me, brother. Because if this has to do with Cuba, why she wasn't allowed to speak, but her statements was allowed to be read out by other white people?
It's like you said.
By them, man. Go ahead, bro.
Gosh, I think you called it for what it is. And even in listening to this, these sisters have gotten so comfortable in this stinking empire that even how they try to plead, it's like, hey, you silence a Black woman. Like you can tell, and listen, you know, we don't get into the politics, but you can tell them Democrats been flexing that double minority trash and all that, you know, you could tell like it's a certain environment where these bastards, they sisters, but they don't give a damn about the Black community. And so they'll flex their gender and their race whenever it benefits. And even the way she said it, you're going to silence a Black woman. Like, be careful what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, on the other hand, this is why these people going so hard for Trump, because they tired of that. They tired of hearing about you being Black. They tired about you being a woman. They want you to be a damn slave. And they showed her today, you did all that thinking you have a voice, and they reminded you, you wanted a seat at the table. You're a maid at the table. Step outside.
Damn. You was kind.
He was smart. He was important. Go ahead, Orium, please.
If I could, sir, that black woman card only works when she calls the police on her man. It doesn't work in that courtroom. Right.
Good night. Oh, listen, Orium, you'll escort Orium out of here, please, because he gonna just cut everybody. Damn. Damn. So Orium, you saying she should have called the cops? She didn't get to talk. Good night. And listen, this is another thing. So, like, Kwame, you was gonna say something?
Nah, not yet, sir. Go ahead, Slacker.
There's another thing. There's another play here. That Debbie Wasserman Schultz, she's definitely Amalek. Right? That name. She's definitely Amalek. And who knows? Okay, I don't know if this Salazar woman probably is suspecting this is the small hats trying to push an agenda using a black face again.
Right.
Which is why they keep saying, even though Wasserman Schultz is a Democrat, she believes in the policies just like Salazar, but she walked out with Debbie Lee. You get the point? She walked out with his sister. So who knows what played in the background? Because of course, now we in the end time, everybody playing for keeps. So you're gonna see more of the small hats. You're gonna see more of them. More public moves by them. You get the point? You're gonna see more public moves by them for sure. But it's very interesting to see. It's very interesting, and like you said, they don't call that whole the black woman thing. You silenced a black woman. You know what I mean? And once again, like the whole woman's lib, the LGBTQ. You can't separate yourself from us.
Right.
You can't separate yourself from us. You can't separate by gender from us, and you cannot separate by sexual preference from us. They're going to see us first before you get a chance to pull all them other cloaks and fig leaves over your face. They are going to see us first. And that's what the hell happened here. That Salazar shut her down quickly. She said, yeah, these two would like to present. I mean, she run that shit like a UPK council. Like, I got two people I like to invite to the council. Yeah, this one's invited, this one's not. End of story. Like, we gonna hear from her. The other one now, we ain't hearing from you. And she got 40 years, 40 years. They say she's advocating and been studying American foreign policy with Cuba and Cuba relations for 4 decades. That's 40 years. She got tenure up in there.
Right.
And this bro just disrespect her. Fully disrespect her too. Man. Come on, please.
Man, I'm trying to understand it. I sitting on here absorbing everything, but trying to understand. You know what I mean? Like, when will a Christian wake up? You know what I mean? They teach you that you know what I mean, we should love everybody. Love everyone. But when you go to work, it ain't like that. Like, how you feeling? How you feeling to know that, okay, you have your white counterpart who's shutting you down. You can't even bring a point out. And it's not that you can't bring it out, but the man could, the white man could read your statement, but you can't read your statement. That is ridiculous. And black people need to wake up. You know what I mean?
Where's your papers, Negro?
Yeah, like they need to wake up to the point where, man, I tell you, I following this Israel and Palestinian thing to, you know what I mean, to a point where I could see the similarities with America and the media and how Israel is carrying on their stuff. Whereas you think, you know what I mean, you living in such a illusion that you thinking that you American, when every time you get reminded you are just a Negro with a, you know what I mean, with a seat.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
So lock
it. Go ahead.
Now, Cap, what you're saying is nuclear. Because, well, I just want to say this. At least she saluted the flag, right? I'm gonna stay on that because this is election year, but it's also resurrection year. They say election 2024. I'm saying resurrection 2024 because they didn't reduce these Negro. You done went from pro-black to a pro-now, and I'm sick and tired of these Negroes running around. Salaki Captain Shock. I'm trying not to be in council, but I'm trying to stay within the algorithm. I'm trying to stay within the matrix of the algorithm tonight. But they don't understand what power works. Like you said, you can't say your statement. They got to say it. You can't tell your history. They have to tell your history. You know, it's the fact that the words are coming from a daughter of Zion or a son of Jacob. That's the problem. They don't want you can't be the mouthpiece for international affairs, especially with a country they view as hostile or potentially hostile.
Right.
They don't want us to align ourselves with our brothers or in any international affairs unless they sanction it. Now we was getting up there saying, well, Israel should have the right to do what they want to do. They would have gave her all the time on the floor they wanted that she desired. They would have let her go into a whole diatribe for about an hour about how Israel should be supported or how the Ukrainian people should be supported.
Yeah.
You understand? That's what brothers got to pay attention. This is where you get your international education dealing with these matters right here in the UPK. Because you take these things and you see it and you can hold it for what it's worth. Salaki Cap.
No. Salaki for cutting in your Kahan. You done?
No, I'm done, Cap. Salaki. You got it.
Hey, man. Just think about, okay. What's the Salazar woman, right? She mentioned Fidel Castro. What's Fidel Castro known for?
Being an enemy of America.
But not that alone. He's he known for being a revolution. Somebody who, who had an uprising, basically, to come up against the so-called oppressor. You understand what I'm saying? And now they label him as an enemy because he did an uprising. You understand? Because they were oppressing the people in Cuba. So he rise up and he took the country, away from these oppressors. So of course, you have a black person who in the same position Fidel was in, years ago, trying to come and advocate for him and Cuba. They're going to shut that down, everything that, where black people, they don't want even you thinking about even, trying to, look at Cuba any type of way. They don't want to put none of that thought, that revolutionary thought in your mind. Get it out.
You're right.
Cuba is an enemy. And we're going to treat Cuba as an example. You know what I mean? And what I do, and what I'm trying to understand is the country that has the reputation for being the most murderous country on the face of the earth. How in the hell they getting a say in what every other country doing? I'm not understanding. But, you know what I mean? As the Bible says, he's the devil. You know what I mean? So he knows how to play it.
You so right. Like I forget the whole correlation between the oppressed and the uprising, because I believe they did the same thing with the revolts in Haiti. They didn't want that shit to spread to the other islands and to America. And same thing with Cuba. They want to make sure that there's no bridge there ever. If anybody gonna talk about Cuba in a pro way, it's gonna be from a white face. Because the last thing we want is these Negroes talking. And brother, this woman is 77 years old.
Which one?
77 years old. Barbara Lee. 77 years old. And the whippersnapper talk to her like she's a child. Overruler, overtalker, no kind of, no kind of at all, you know, respect in any type of way, not considering any type of work, and it's definitely sending a message through the ranks. It's definitely sending that type of message through the ranks. And okay, this is the other thing, Salaki. The Salazar woman, of course, the name sounds like it might be an Israelite, but those people who are against the Castro regime and pro-Cuba, like Little Havana in Florida, those was typically Europeans and Italians.
Yeah.
So more than likely, she's an oppressor.
Right.
And this Barbara Lee is old enough to know when these oppressor females came to the black woman for the women's liberation movement to help. And now they're in position of power. They don't need you no more. So you not welcome to talk here. But when you was getting your teeth knocked out by your drunk husband and barefoot and pregnant, you needed Barbara Lee to talk, though.
Right.
You needed black women to talk.
Right.
But now on the flip side, you done in power. Ain't nobody want to hear your ain't nobody want to hear your behind. Ain't nobody want to hear you. Like you had to come in there with a proxy, a Jewish proxy. Like if you are law, like if you are criminal. Like that's your lawyer. That's your counsel. You had to come in there with a whole Jewish representation. And she had to walk out with you and come back to the drawing board because you can't talk. And somebody had to text you or speech it. Like that's the if you want to know the progress of civil rights and black people progress since the 50s, that's it right there. Where your words had to come in a text message, even though you right there. You had to go outside and text that shit in, and then somebody white could read it in Florida. Florida with a W, not Florida, Florida. Florida.
Man, it's like where Christ Utility would be so nice too. They'll can't come and sit down with counsel and say nothing. Now text that to let Kahan know what you want to see. or let Kazak know what you want to see. You understand?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We are no time for this. We on something else. We trying to deal with something else. Let's
like a cap. They gonna need a ventriloquist. What they call the thing when you stick your hand with the little dummy?
Yeah.
You know how like the dummy to be talking, you're gonna need a blackface. You're gonna need a blackface dummy. If you're gonna try to listen, I'm gonna keep it real, man. like these women, man, we would be so much stronger if we had a united front. You know what I'm saying? They don't really know how to play. They don't even know how to deal with these politics. She should have said, okay, well, I'll let my white representative speak for me then, since I can't speak.
Right.
Because you respect her. You got to. Right. You have to play the race card. They trying to play the feminist card. You have to play the race. The race card is the most powerful card in the deck. But they don't even know how to play that and when to play it. They all off key, man. This is shameful.
And so like you can't bring up that's so heavy too. The reason why they don't know how to play that is because somebody filled their head with that garbage that they're Americans, that they're equal.
Right.
You understand? So now, since we equal, that race card not even in the head. Because why? Because what Martin Luther King died for, we have, you know what I mean, for that dream, we are achieving it right now. I can sit down here as a black woman in this court and get my, you know what I mean, and say my words unto no, we don't want to get out. We don't want to hear you. And now you stumbling for words, not stumbling for words so much, but you don't know the right words to say. You understand what I'm saying? Because she spoke eloquent, but they don't understand. Easter don't care about how eloquent you put in something. They do not care how eloquent. You watch that Israel and Palestinian stuff. I don't care. They don't care. What's his name? Netanyahu said doesn't care. He doesn't care what the court says. They're not going to dictate what we're going to do. So if they think like that, you understand what I'm saying? You think as a black person, you could come and sway their mind. Do you ain't swaying their mind? You nuts. You could talk how eloquent you want to be. You could be how ghetto you want to be. that is not swaying Esau. You
Right.
understand? You know what I mean? What sways Esau is his people. You know what I mean? They know how to talk to each other. They know language. Salakia.
Oh, Slacky Cap. I didn't mean it. Slack, we still going, sir?
No. I yield. Go ahead.
If I may, real quick, when I was looking at this situation, which I was bringing out was so heavy. This is your everyday to day life. This is you in work. When you think you're gonna get a promotion at work, you've already been silenced. You know what I mean? This is, you try to think you're gonna move up in, life, and you're gonna finally, be equal. This is a pure example of your silence. You know what I mean? And then, like it was brought out, she had to use her counterpart because her counterpart is the real one that they respect. The real one pulling the strings. And it's just funny. What I recognize, what you brought out was so heavy, Captain Mashak. If she's 77 years old, she's been fighting for years, right? For years, and she has had. That means she's lived through a time period of racism and a different level of racism that we didn't actually experience, in a sense where we have more amenities now in certain ways, but nothing has changed. Right. She received racism at 77 years old, and she received it when she was younger. So this should be a very, very key point to realize, like the what is that? When the troops, when we were coming out of Egypt, and how they attacked our young and our old from the rear. They have no respect for our old, our young. You know what I mean? And this is a very, very key point to look at. She's a woman, even though I have no respect for the sister because she's overrunning a lot of things in Northern California. In Northern California, if you know, the homelessness in San Francisco and Oakland looks like a third world country. And for her to even think that she is doing something for Black and brown people, it's ridiculous. But it's just showing you what we've accomplished. Nothing. We've made no moves trying to assimilate with them. This is why we must come back to the Most High. That's why we have to get in the UPK, because the only way you're going to be able to have a seat and he heard is if you create your own government. And we have our own government. We just need to remember what it is and where it was. And that's in the Israelite School UPK. Salak, I yield.
No, you're right. You absolutely right. Like at this point, you really have to appreciate now that there's no progress, and you ain't part of the plan. You know what I mean? Because won't you expect some sort of solidarity? Like what Kahan was bringing out, the race card, they don't know how to play it, because why it had to be a Black woman? Why it ain't she silenced a woman and all the women get up and walk out? Why not just the whole hearing, the whole Cuba hearing is put on pause and has to be rescheduled because this speaker or this chairwoman did something so unprecedented that nobody would tolerate the disrespect to a senior member and walk right out. Like, you got to realize now, like, you at the end of it. Like, you're really just a mascot at this point. You're really just a face for them to say, oh, there goes Barbara Lee, y'all give it up, y'all. 77 years. She was there with Martin Luther King. She was there in this, and she was there in that. Like, at this point now, you a mascot. You the crime fighting dog at this point. You ain't putting a dent into crime, but you're on every ad.
Cap.
That's graceful. Disgraceful. Go ahead, priest, please.
Hey, Cap, what you saying is so right, because I remember when John Lewis was alive, the one from Alabama, the one that marched with Dr. King and the SNCC, and they called him they said he's the conscience of America or something. They called him the conscience of Congress or something. They gave some title. I forgot. Somebody might have Googled it, but they called him the conscience of Congress or something like that. And I remember when John Lewis, when they was doing the Occupy Wall Street, and he came down to New York City and he wanted to speak and they silenced him. Occupy Wall Street in New York, where they was having that whole Occupy Wall Street thing. There was, a lot of people was out there that was against the economy and so forth. And he wanted to go down to say a message of peace and unity. And they said, John Lewis, we don't want to hear that. I remember that. This is a civil rights leader. And let me tell you something. A lot of those civil rights leaders, a lot of them are transitioning. But even now, they won't admit that, we made an error. Some of them, they're going to take that dream to the grave because they don't want to hear that, maybe we made a mistake. Maybe we miscalculated on this assimilation. I don't even call it integration. This assimilation that we've done in this place. Because now you, like you said, Captain Shock or Captain Nathak, now you are a racial relic and a mascot. That's what you are. You are a relic. A lot of them, they've been hiding behind Dr. King's legacy for so long. They ain't marched. Some of them ain't marched since. They ain't even got on a Peloton to sit here and say that you done something off Martin Luther King Jr. Stop playing with the UPK. So like, I'm gonna stop that.
Oh my God!
Not even the Peloton, the girl.
They
didn't even raise the incline on the thing, God. They didn't even raise it.
Come on.
Yo, wild as shit. Oh shit. This is a lock here. Oh Lord, start by for command, Yahanna. Oh Lord. Alo wapan ya? Rock.
What up? Y'all having a great show. I just had to come in and jump in with y'all about good. The water.
Come.
Please continue. He didn't have a Peloton, huh?
Peloton. Yeah, man. There's some relics at this point. They just, go in with whatever they put in front of them, and just being, that mascot, just being that face to smoothing over to get acceptance with whoever. You know what I mean? They wild. General, any one of those you wanted to go on, or you wanted to go back over this video, sir?
Y'all ready? Y'all done with that story?
I think just about. She done get kicked out and had to text in the damn speech.
I just wanted to add to what y'all was saying, that how traitorous was it for John Lewis. Now finally is coming out how Martin Luther King started to go absolutely radical. We brought this out on Monday night's show, how he went all the way radical. We brought it out Wednesday as well, about how, he started going with he started coming up against the war. He started coming up against the financial system. He started coming up against all of those and lost his life for it. John Lewis was right there throughout the whole thing. He knew what Martin Luther King began to stand for at the end. Martin Luther King woke up from the nightmare that he created. But John Lewis and others who obviously were working for the government or began to work for the government instead saw Martin Luther King die and thought to themselves, I had better join them so that the same doesn't happen to me. And instead turned their back on him and just became a puppet for the scenario that got spun afterwards. Little did we know that he had totally left the situation. First of all, we didn't know that he was such a traitor
and got with the Edomites to set up the whole movement. And then we didn't know that in the end, he had turned his back. Thanks to big shout out to Harry Belafonte, one of the first ones to stand up and expose him. There's a tape out of Harry Belafonte checking the hell out of Barack Obama indirectly. And with Barack Obama in the room, it's a banging tape. He was cutting the hell out of Obama. He looked there, you could tell the vibe on him was like Obama was something horrible and filthy that was going to be another Trojan horse. And I don't know all the details, but it seemed like Harry Belafonte was the straight up one of the few straight up ones that was in that whole clique, because he's the only one that came out and said that really Martin Luther King knew in the end that he had messed up. And then Martin Luther King's own words proved that. And this brother right here, man, John Lewis, was like the super duper Uncle Tom. You know what I mean? After that, you know what I'm saying? He became the role. He became really the scenario and the voice of going with what failed, with pushing the civil rights movement for another 50 years, when the whole damn thing went south and was wrong from the beginning. And that's why this sister done got disrespected once again, because we don't learn. We hard-headed, we don't learn. But we gonna learn this time. Because you know what's gonna happen? As we start getting closer to the end, we're gonna see the fear on Esau that we've never seen before. Right. Esau has been great at not showing any fear when his back is against the wall, which is why we rest in his authority so much. Just like the scripture said, how we lean on Egypt and trust therein, and trust in the Pharaoh of Egypt. Like, we trust in their might. You know what I mean? Whatever goes down subconsciously in the back of our mind, we always believe Esau is going to take care of it. But not this go round. The Third World War is the end of all these empires. So for them to think that this going to go well is a fool's play. And for us to put our heart and trust in it is also a fool's play. So I just wanted to add that to what you're saying. Okay. And then if Mashak, if you could get that last TikTok video, man, I'm going to show y'all something that is just astounding. It's going to blow your stack. I'll show you two things if I can. And I know Kahan knows about the prison in Alabama. I'm going to come into that next. Okay. We'll show you the real state of affairs. And let me tell you, add something if I could. The water for having me, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let me add a little something to what everything y'all bringing out, and how great you brothers are, man. How great you are in this work, and the things that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And I know, you know, it ain't for a man to be praising y'all so much, but listen, I ain't never been no homo. I ain't never gonna be no homo. But I'm gonna talk about my brothers, you understand, because the courage that you have in these last days is just a remarkable thing. You understand? It's like you are a remarkable thing, and that's no cap on that. No cap whatsoever on that. It's as real as it could be, and I'm in the trench with you. So you know I ain't talking just to blow it at you. It's straight up what the hell we dealing with. Okay? Because if we're gonna be absolutely real, America only hates one thing, and that's us.
That's
yeah, America don't mind screwing our women. America don't mind giving our women jobs because it's all helps their economy. They'll even put a gun in our women's hands and let her go kill his enemy. But there's one thing he does not like, and that's the black man. And it's biblical anyway. Scriptures tell you you got to buy the strong man. Black men are hated by every nation, every empire. But the hatred in America is just pouring out the walls like y'all bring it out. The hatred of us never stopped, never slowed down, never ever ended. It went on and on and on. And I'm going to show you in this next video, Mashaka is going to bring out right now. In this video, it shows you how much these Edomites do not even want us to leave prison because they got it so good. Play the roll this video. Listen to this good, y'all.
Place out there. I don't want state prisoners, okay? They are a necessary evil to keep the doors open, that we keep a few or keep some out there. And that's the ones that you can work. That's the ones that can pick up trash, the work release programs. But guess what? Those are the ones that they're releasing. In addition to the bad ones, and I call these bad, in addition to them, they're releasing some good ones that we use every day to wash cars, to change oil in our cars, to cook in the kitchen, to do all that where we save money. Well, they're going to let them out.
Wait. Pause that before you play it again. Now, did y'all get that? Or am I just bugging? Y'all going to tell me, give me the Alzheimer's medicine. If I'm jammed up, y'all going to give me the Alzheimer's medicine because I don't understand that. That was the governor. And he's mad that they let the ones that's behaving in prison out. The ones that got good time, and they obviously are like model prisoners because they washing cars, cooking food. That means they outside the prison wall. He mad that they let them out, which show you that the prison has been slavery everything, period.
That's right.
You understand? That's what the hell it's been. And they got no conscience of the fact that these are human beings.
Right.
That's like y'all letting the good horses out. Like the bad horses, we can't put a saddle on. That's one thing to keep them in. But you letting the ones we can ride on. Why are you gonna let them out? We need them the most. We'll show you what the hell is in their mind. And listen, and it ain't even a thing of, well, they did their time or they came up for the time for parole. None of that. All they looking about is we need some of them in here, and you should let none of them out. Like these are monsters are. These are people who've had it. This is what happens when a greedy carnal man receives so much that he loses sense of humanity. This is what happens. This is what happens. These people have lost the sense of humanity, man. You understand? And it's crazy that they think that way. Let me play it one more time and then I'm going to yield it, okay?
Come
on. Go ahead. One more time, just so you can hear it.
State prisoners, okay? They are a necessary evil to keep the doors open, that we keep a few or keep some out there. And that's the ones that you can work. That's the ones that can pick up trash, the work release programs. But guess what? Those are the ones that they're releasing. In addition to the bad ones, and I call these bad, in addition to them, they're releasing some good ones that we use every day to wash cars, to change oil in our cars, to cook in the kitchen, to do all that where we save money. Well, they're going to let them out.
That means we are the full out labor of the state. But they ain't listening all the stuff we do. Cleaning the highway, fixing the road, all the sisters that probably working in the office. Like they living off of this free labor and don't want to let you out. I yield.
So like he said, and the word he used, this is a necessary evil. The bastard know it evil.
Yeah.
He know it's wrong.
That's right.
He know it wrong. I don't understand. He said this is a necessary evil. You know what I mean? And this reminds me of the movie with what's his name? With Martin and I think Eddie Murphy. Life or something.
Yes.
This reminds me of Life. Like he is the warden who want to take a prisoner home to him like he's a butler or a slave. To change his oil, to wash his car, to clean his kitchen. You understand?
And cook. Wait a minute. And cook.
And cook.
Woo,
you know
they had
he know that woman and they ain't using no seasoning. You know what I mean? He want them brothers who could throw down. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you know what I mean? It's extremely evil to hear what's coming out of his mouth in 2024, and then you have black men behind co-signing.
Yeah.
Ignorant. with a straight face, like he is saying nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he is saying nothing wrong. Then it's crazy.
That's crazy.
So like, if I could, Cap, what you saying is so right, and the water Command Junior Yahanna for bringing this out.
No,
because shout out to ISUPK Alabama out there too, Officer Tazad and Officer Lahadun, Officer Bakad. And for those that don't know, Officer Bakad, he has a relative that's locked up in Alabama jails, and I think I'm sorry, the prison system. I'm sorry. And he's been reaching out to the UPK. We're gonna be reaching out to him on certain things that he want to talk about that's going on in that jail. I didn't want to bring it out to now, but now that you brought this, it's in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because the UPK, we have a prison program, and we reach behind those walls.
That's
you know
right.
What I'm saying? So but it's so heavy that even the good ones and the bad ones are still under subjugation of the state and of what you would consider modern day slavery.
That's right.
That our whole this just shows everyone that our relation to the justice system is transactional. It's monetized. So it's not about justice. It's not about rehabilitation. It's about what we can get from them for their labor free.
That's right.
That right there. I mean, that all they did in the South is just take the chattel slavery system and they transition it to the jails and to the prison system. They already had what they needed. They have a place to house you, and they have a place to feed you, and then you go out and labor in the fields. It's almost like a sophisticated form of sharecropping, but it's the same thing. Yes, sir.
Go ahead, please, John. Go ahead.
No, Colonel won't come, sir. And then he get mad because he's saying they're gonna let them go. They're gonna let so and the good ones need to be there because they are the model. That's why most people say, well, the good ones should be able to go. No, that's not how the devil thinks. The good ones are the model ones for other ones to transition to good. But you never transition out of slavery. You never transition out of subjugation. So what does that prove about being a good slave? Like this just shows more and more what the UPK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, has been saying. I mean, for the longest. Like this is the truth, man. Like you hearing it right now. The Lord is bringing it out. He's letting him tell you. Like you think God is unrighteous. He said, okay, you listen. You be the judge.
Right.
So
and if I could add, Kahan, before I pass, and if he is willing to say that publicly, could you imagine how much he's been just talking and discussing and cutting off and holding people back while they're in the prison when he's in his office? Like that's what he says in public. When he's in his office, I mean, and there any one of those what do they used to call them cats in prison years ago? When you were in the prison, you was a prisoner, but he gave you a gun and you held back the other prisoners. What was the name in the Deep South they had a name for? Where you dang, I forgot, Stewarts or something. Anyway, if anybody know in the chat room, let me know.
Is it shop steward, sir?
Huh?
Like a shop steward?
It's similar to a shop steward, but I think shop steward is when they doing construction or something. But they had a specific name for them when they was in prison. What I was gonna say is that real quick is that's an amazing spirit on him. And dare any of them, and for them brothers to stand behind him while he says that in public, that means they hearing this all day. And they fully committed to the management of the state, regardless of if any brothers get a trustee. I think that's the word. I think Desmond Honeycutt got it right. I think trustees might be the word. I could be wrong, but I think trustee, Knowledge Seeker 143, I think you got it right too. You know what I mean? Cleveland Wardlow, Salaka. If I messed that up. Yeah, I think you're right. I think trustees are what they were called. And brother, that is insane. No conscience. And talk about trained Negroes, trained black men. Woo! There's something that they done beat into brothers down there.
Yeah.
Beat into their soul down there. I yield before I go to the next story. Good night.
Like, if I may, sir.
Please,
if I may, sir, what you saying was so heavy. Like, them not even batting an eye. Like, there wasn't even an inflection. They were just completely still in watching this man say what he was saying. Like, it's just normal. This is how it is. And it makes me think about, too, when you think about prison, they constantly try to push, rehabilitation. There is no such thing as rehabilitation when you got wardens and superiors that run prisons like that say the good and the bad ones need to stay. Like, you got to really process that in your mind if you're listening. Like, the good ones, you mean the ones that learned their lesson, and that did their time, that actually are afforded the time to actually get back in the population, and they still want to keep their foot on your neck? That's why the ISUPK is the only place for rehabilitation. If you think you're going to get rehabilitation anywhere else, you were sadly mistaken, because those brothers that were standing back there watching this man say what he said, that's the spirit of the Christian church. That's the spirit of those that will not speak for you, will not fight for you, will let all evils be said and done to you, and because they're getting a paycheck, because they're getting a pension, because they can take care of their kids. And this is how they cause a division amongst us. And we have to see this so that we recognize who among our people, because we do have enemies among our own people, unfortunately. But we have to, this is why we do what we do, to call them out. Salaki, I yield. But I just wanted to say that, sir.
Perfect point. Perfect point.
Can I pull one scripture, sir?
Please, brothers, please. Y'all go at this, please.
Can I get Isaiah chapter 42, verse 22? I can. Because this is how we know that the Bible is talking about us, man. Like this, and I mean this gives the word captivity. I mean, it makes it real. It puts it in high definition when you hear the TikTok, man, and these videos about this, man. Like you used to argue with the UPK for years, but now it's coming all the way out. Now you hearing it from the horse's mouth. You hearing it from him live and direct. You understand? So if I can get this scripture so we can God's word gonna crystallize what we just saw. So like
the book of Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 22. But this a people robbed and spoiled.
You see this, the Lord saying this a people. The Lord had to let us know, man, it's talking about us. We robbed and we spoiled. We robbed of our humanity. We spoiled of all the years that we lost just because a brother might have made an error or made a mistake in his life. Now he has to serve. Now he has to serve in perpetuity. You know what I'm saying? Under these people, man. You understand? Robbed and spoiled. Go ahead.
They are all of them snared in holes.
They in the hole in the jails. They thrown in the hole. We in all kind of financial holes, social holes in this place, man. And even in the graves. You understand? In these unmarked graves. You know what I'm saying? It's so spiritual. We snared and we trapped in this place. Keep going.
Wait. Before you go further, Kahan, please bear with me to let me cut in for a second.
Yes, sir.
Because what you pulled out right there, that very line right there, is so heavy in this. It says, the Lord said, snare. A snare is a trap. So us going to prison is a trap.
That's right.
Which is the proof, like we've been saying in ISUPK, stop blaming black men for what has happened to them. They were trapped into this. They didn't go into this voluntarily. Anybody saying black people got to pull themselves up by their bootstraps is a fool in this respect. There is a trap right there. So when you get snared in the trap, you got to pull yourself up by your bootstrap. You can't. You've been trapped. And that's what's happened to us in this place, man. That's a very heavy scripture. I yield. Please go back to it.
General, I want to give you a hand for bringing it out, General. Colonel General amplifying that. Colonel sir. You go ahead, my brother. You keep reading.
And they are hid in prison houses.
They are what?
Hid in prison houses.
Say that one more time for the people.
And they are hid in prison houses.
Man, that's talking about us. That right there, that's talking about blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. We hid, man, in prison houses, man. Just like in Alabama, just like in Mississippi. It's no different than a chain gang. It's the same thing, man. Like these, we are hid, meaning you're not even seen, you're not even heard. That's why it's so heavy that you get in contact with the ISUPK prison department, man. We got brothers in there that's behind the wall that's contacting us. We able to reach out. They letting us know what's going on behind the scenes now up in there.
Yeah.
Because Commander General Yahanna is giving a voice to the voiceless through the Most High in Christ.
Damn right.
Keep going, my brother. I'm sorry, Cap.
Salaki Khan, what you're saying is so heavy. Because, brother, what you're saying, okay, this ain't just for brothers in the prison. Black people, we need to wake up. America is built on this necessary evil. You understand? Black people on a whole is living in an open air prison, and we don't even know it. You got your name taken from your culture, everything, so you could come and serve this man and make him the richest man on the face of the earth, because it was a necessary evil to have you in captivity. You understand?
And meanwhile, Ben Carson said that America don't have nothing to be ashamed of.
Right.
That's right.
You understand? Like America has everything to be ashamed of. The story we just read about with bodies being digged up, 121 bodies. Then you have these 600 and some bodies being digged up. You understand? So all of that was a necessary evil to build this empire. You had to kill. You had to unalive so that you could have your empire. And now you want us to just sit back and say nothing about it? Kahan, go ahead. Before bust up blood vessel.
Cap, you got me.
If I could, Kahan, just before you finish, remember in that story with the McGill Air Force Base. Remember the lieutenant or the sergeant, the woman who was they interviewed. She said, "Well, obviously, bad things have been done in America." Which is the same spirit of it, whereas this is a necessary evil. So obviously you got to crack the egg to make omelets. And that's how they view everything they do to us as just collateral damage. You know, you want eggs, well, you need to crack the eggshell. You can't have the egg without that. This is okay. You know, we'll just keep them, put them in the house, they'll change the oil. We're making the life better anyway. You know how much people can't change oil? How much people can't cook, can't do this. They think what they're doing is a kindness, like how the Bible say the tender mercies of the something is cruel. I forget how the scripture goes. The tender mercies of the churl is cruel or something like that. They think what they're doing here is a mercy.
And what about the one Mashak that says, "He that killeth thee thinketh he doeth the Lord a good deed"? Paraphrase. Salakia, I yield. Khan, Salakia. We jumped all over. Please take it back. Did we lose him?
Nah, he answered. Hold on. Nah, I think hold on.
We lost him? Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Salakia, Khan, we jumped all over you. Please jump back in.
No, ain't no thing. Nah, cut him with Khan, sir. I was going to finish up the scripture. Cut him with Khan. Go ahead, my brother.
Khan. They are for a prey and none delivered.
And you understand, like that, like we are prey for profit. This is a capitalist society, and they gonna make use of every nickel and dime they can get out of us, man. Down the washing cars, and they gonna think they doing something good. They're like, man, we getting something out the deal. Satan will always use your sin as leverage, like the general said. It's a trap. He gonna use your sin, and he will monetize your sin
Right.
for his benefit.
Mhm.
Can we get the rest? Can you can finish up, brother?
Cannot cancel. For a spoil and none said restore.
None of them. They don't care about restoring your life and your humanity because you not human to them. You know, or you. I say this to them to the liberal ones. You may be human, but you're less human than they are.
That's right.
If you catch my drift. So like I yield, sir.
Good point.
Khan,
Go
just to
ahead.
ask
Go ahead,
you,
Cap.
where is the ICJ? Where they at for black people? The International Court of Justice. Where are they for black people? You see how America been run. You know what I mean? We are oppressed in this place. Like the crimes that have been committed against black people in this place, and there's no repercussions for it. Now you understand why Israel is doing what they're doing and acting the way they're acting, because they learn from America. America taught them well. You understand? They're doing everything. Everything they're doing is a playbook from America. You know what I mean? And nobody could touch America right now but the Lord. You know what I mean? As the Lord said in I think it's in Romans 9 and 22, where he said he lift up Pharaoh so that when he had to take him down, it's gonna be a big fall. Nobody's gonna be shocked when America be destroyed. Nobody's gonna be shocked because the amount of crime that's in this place that nobody is paying for, none whatsoever. Nobody crying out for black people. Nobody. You have your black leaders sitting down, not even bringing out things like these, you know what I mean, to show black people, you know what I mean, what's like preparing them mentally, you know what I mean, what's really going on in America. You understand? I yield.
If I could, Trooper Halak Aman said, "Kana one con, that's so heavy. You put cheese on a mousetrap to catch mice. You put cheese, drugs in the hoods to catch black men." You right. And let me tell you something, Mark. Like, they sit there and plotted all of our destruction. One more, if I could. Blackley said, "Salakia, can we get a kind of play-by-play with how they proceed with the crafty council as it happened over the years?" Baba Koshah Adawan. Well, listen, I'm gonna give you some small examples because there's so many that you could go to, but I'll give you a few small ones. One of the main one was how they came in the 80s and took over the music industry and turned it into so-called gangster rap, and then which helped turn us into each other. Go back a little further, and in the 60s, after the civil rights movement, they brought in heroin and doped up a third of our people. People were hanging all over the streets. Then move it up a little bit further to today. Now they took away that economic ability by making weed legal. And then over the time, from the 60s on up, they kept inflation going on us to the point where even two people working a normal job could barely pay for an apartment. When black men came back from the war in the 60s, got a job in a factory, and was able to buy a car and a house and raise their family in that house in the 60s, okay? When supposedly they didn't have all this technology and ability. But now, two people with a regular job got to pay, what, 18, 19, 1,500, 2,000, plus more than that, just to maintain a place. That's how they gradually strangled us to death. And then let's not mention how all of the TV shows that you watched from the 70s on were all propaganda against us. Go back and look at punch in YouTube when you get a chance and look at all of the old cop shows from the 70s, including shows like Law and Order. And every single one of those shows has multiple incidents of racism against blacks and Latinos. Every last one of them. Look at all the mob movies. Every last one of them has some evil reference to black people. This was a gradual destruction of our character, a gradual destruction of our spirit. That's why black men been reduced to what they wanted us to be reduced to, like an animal, when we are princes and got to fight for opposition as princes and fight that our people, if nobody else, looks at us as princes and not as, you know, the animals that this man has tried to make us. And now here we are in the late 2004, and now the scenario's even getting worse, where now they're coming with new taxes and they pass laws every day to wipe us out. All of this is part of the program. And if I could, Mashak, can you have somebody pull up that story of the new prison being built for $1 billion? Don't tell me prison ain't a great business. That's why the governor don't want to let them prisoners go. Sorry to cut in on everybody, but I know the time is short. If y'all let me, I want to pull this next story about the Alabama just to match what we just read. On top of them wanting to keep them brothers in prison, they about to build a $1 billion prison, probably the most expensive prison in U.S. history, is about to be built in the South, which shows you what they want to do. We are deeply snared in a trap, and we deeply, deeply have to wake up to the truth. And once again, that's why if you're in the ISUPK, brother or sister, make no mistake, you are very valuable to the Most High Christ, and absolutely valuable to this work.
That's true.
Because you are the only one awake enough with the understanding of the scriptures to go forward. I hear all these black pundits and all these black entertainers and all these people talking about what people should be doing, how they should be acting, what spirit they should be in, and this and that and the other. And I keep looking at it like it's so sad in that in 2024, we are still trying to figure out how we ought to be. 2024, we don't even know what sexual orientation we're supposed to be. And all that is by design. It's by design. It's by design to destroy us, to break us down, to turn us into nothing. And it is why we cannot allow it to happen. You got that story, Mashak?
Kawakan.
Read that for me, because whoever's holding.
Kawakan. Alabama is building the most expensive prison in U.S. history.
Alabama, right down there in the deep South again. While they're crying about they need to keep them prisoners, they're building an even bigger one. The most expensive prison in U.S. history in Elmore County. Go ahead, up.
Kawakan, at a cost of $1 billion. Alabama's Elmore County has approved the construction of a $1.8 billion, 4,000 bed prison, making it the most expensive prison in U.S. history. The facility aims to address overcrowding and improve living conditions, but critics argue that the money could have been better spent on mental health resources and counseling to reduce the prison population.
And if I could, just let me sidebar for 1 second. Right now in Harlem, right? They got an area in Harlem called the Polo Ground. It is a small city project. It's the projects, right? They dug up a hole in the ground and they spent $31 million to build a high-tech garbage disposal system where you throw the garbage down a chute, and instead of the garbage having to be piled up and picked up by garbage trucks, it goes down a chute into a tunnel, shoots straight into a recycling plant where they bust it all up, recycle it, and ship it out. So you never see any garbage trucks or anything. You never see garbage piled up. You never see big garbage bins and all that. They spent $31 million on it for 4 buildings in the projects. For 4 buildings. They could have gave half of that to the people in those projects and they would have changed their life forever. They could have went to them with $15 million and said, listen, we're going to give you $15 million, but here's the contract. You can never let no trash pile up in this project. You think them people would have you wouldn't have been able to put you wouldn't have been able to put a Snickers wrapper on the sidewalk.
That's
because
right.
them people would have had hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. But instead, they went and built a sewer system for $31 million. You think that they're gonna spend this money, $1 billion for $1 billion, $1.8 billion? They could have turned around and gave that money to the 4,000 prisoners under the condition that we'll take every penny of it back if you break the law again. They could have gave it to them, and they would have never broke. They could have gave it to 8,000 prisoners. And let me tell you something else. You think that they're going to control 4,000 prisoners in that facility? It's going to be a zoo. It's going to be it's going to be everything that the projects would be, only behind walls where you can't see. They'll be selling drugs, shopping food, using cell phones, wearing clothing, bringing women into the prison. They'll be doing every single thing they were doing on the outside. The only difference is the state of Alabama will be getting billions of dollars from the federal government, and they'll be using that same free labor to help make the state more rich. That's why they wouldn't give it to the prisoners. It's better to spend millions making money off of your slaves than to give it to the slaves so they could stop living a life of a slave. I yield. Please continue.
Kawakan. Similar prison construction projects are also underway in Nebraska and Georgia.
So two other states, they plan to do it as well. Go ahead.
Kawakan, sir. But prison reform advocates emphasize the need for long-term solutions that address the root causes of issues faced by old facilities.
Right, not the issues that caused them to go to prison in the first place.
Right.
You can drop $1 billion in those cities where them brothers come from, and you could end whatever situation they're dealing with in them cities.
Right.
But let me tell you something. These prisons that they're building is because they know that Black economy is about to take an extreme nosedive. Because in about 2 seconds, they're going to take over the entire drug market, which has become a great part of your life because they psychologically drag you into it using hip hop music and all kinds of other methods. So now, as the economy in the country slips, and it's been slipping, they know your economy is going to hell. So what's the solution? We can help the state and get control of you by building prisons and turning them into basically third world countries. Because 4,000 prisoners working for $1.25 a week, or whatever the hell they pay you, is going to make them so much money on the projects that they're going to be working on. Like, this is the new state of the empire. And it is why anybody who does not tie to their Bible and put their full hope, you better be praying the Lord, bring them angels out that fourth dimension and to come down and deal with this man. And
That's
you better, damn right, and we better understand, damn right, and we better understand something else. This state of affairs that the Lord's chosen people are in, we better understand that this is exactly what happened to us in Egypt. Like, we are the perfect slave and a perpetual slave, if not for the power above. Our kindness, our goodness, the goodness in our heart, our patience, our long suffering is used by the wicked and evil of this world. And they use it until there's nothing left of us. We never get out of slavery if not for the Lord. And when they bring in all this electronics and robots and all this stuff they talk about bringing in, there will be absolutely no escape from this animal except for the Most High. I yield. I think that's pretty much it, right? You got more on the story?
Yeah, Consul, it just was going, if I could, sir, going more about how they had plans of these, not just in Nebraska and Georgia, but also New York to replace Rikers Island as well, sir.
You see that? So they want to put $1 billion facilities on. Now, Rikers Island going to spend $1 billion for a new prison. They must go. These new prisons, I guarantee you, these new prisons going to have all the job facilities already set up. They don't have to build job facilities. They don't have all the facilities set up. In a minute, they'll be in there building robots.
Mm-hmm. Or that chip, they say that they want to get their hands on from Taiwan.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yep. Like that's the future, if not for the Most High.
Like if I could,
please.
It's interesting how when it comes to a project like this, they tell you how much they're gonna spend to build it, but they never tell you how much they plan on making. You know, like any business, they sit down, they talk about, okay, this is the investment, but what are we gonna make? And for them to invest $1 billion, you know they're gonna make a lot of money off our children.
That's right. That's right. Like anytime somebody in their empire is gonna build 4 or 5 $1 billion prisons, you better understand that ain't nobody building a path for you to have a sensible life in this empire. Black men are in the most endangered species now than ever before. And for the ones that don't go to prison, they're already destroying your mind psychologically. Brothers today, it's an epidemic of brothers not having sex with black women. It's an epidemic, man. It's an epidemic of brothers that's caught up in the video games and pornography. And forget about romance. Romance is dead among black men. It's like everything is 3 minutes, and we destroying our structure. Like he was taking us away from our women so that he could destroy us that way. Now he don't even have to take you away. He destroy you right through the cell phone psychologically. You halfway can't go on a date. Go to a restaurant and go in there and see all the couples that's on a date. Both of them is on their cell phone and not talking to each other. Brothers don't put no more butter on it when they come to talk to a rib no more. It's becoming romance, becoming a lost art, to where even the rappers, even the R&B singers are saying, we ain't making no more songs because it ain't what you women want. like they done won the battle of the sexes and broke our families up and destroyed them. And we better get this thing back quick or we gonna be in a jam. You know what I mean?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
General, if I could.
Please.
I noticed I don't know in the article they ain't saying who the shareholders are, but if they spending that much money, who are the investors? Because I can guarantee you, if it's whoever the investors, they're gonna get their return as far as labor. Whether it's a Fortune 500 company, they got venture capitalists that's investing in a lot of new technology now too, and they need labor to build it. So they may be in there teaching prisoners how to do coding and all that.
Oh, forget about it. They're gonna run the empire on it. Let me tell you something else. I'll tell you who's financing it. Wall Street, because there's so much money to make. Wall Street will finance the prison, and then Wall Street will give the prison the industry to make money off of that. Every military uniform, every license plate. You understand? Every what do they call that when you call and you got a problem with a product? Every customer service center. All of that gonna be run by prisoners, man. You know what I mean? For $1 a day or something like that. They're gonna beat out the third world countries. They're gonna beat out the third world countries. Go ahead, Salaki, I yield.
John, like what you saying is so heavy because if they don't, let's just say they don't meet their mark with their return, then they'll just get Congress to change some laws. So they, like you said, they'll change the laws to make sure those sales are filled. You know what I'm saying? If we ain't committing enough crime, then they're gonna change the law to make sure we commit crime. Like you.
No, you're right.
It's like, if I may, sir, what I was thinking about too is you see how all our brothers and sisters are migrating over here too. And you're thinking about them building prisons in like New York. We need to get a grip on our brothers and sisters, because you talk about free labor, they're going to start throwing our brothers over here and finding ways to imprison them and make them the labor over here, how they were fighting to run from the labor in the country they were coming from. And so that's something that we got to pay attention to. Like, this beast, he's definitely tactical. You know what I mean?
Hey,
He's definitely thinking of ways to put us in a hole.
let me tell you something, Mark. Thou art a prophet of God, because I'm sending Mashak a video right now where they have a bill on the table where they want to call Latinos terrorists legally. You just broke it down. You just broke it down. Quam, they want to label Latinos as terrorists legally. Now, you could fill a prison up quick if you start locking people up by ethnicity. That's exactly how they got so many prisoners in slavery. All you had to do to qualify to be in slavery was be black or be Latino. And now they bringing that back. But Chuck, you got it?
Come on, so I'm pulling this up now, sir.
Throw that up, man, and then I'm running out of there before the people get mad.
And General, you know the small hats ain't far behind with these billion-dollar investments.
You absolutely right. You absolutely. That's who running Wall Street anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why they got mad at Madoff and them, because he's one of them and then robbed them. He was already robbing the world for them, but then he got so greedy he robbed them. They got mad as hell, threw him under the prison. Go ahead and pull it up if you can, because this is amazing.
Come on, so queuing up now, sir.
They want to pass a bill.
So someone really doesn't believe that Oklahoma is trying to pass a bill that would just label Hispanics as terrorists.
Coming up.
So someone really doesn't believe that Oklahoma is trying to pass a bill that would just label Hispanics as terrorists. They want to see the bill. All right, let's see the bill. Okay, it's actually so short that we could actually read it together. Okay, check it out. Any person who is of Hispanic descent living within the state of Oklahoma is a member of a criminal street gang, as such a term is defined in subsection F. Also has been convicted of a gang-related offense enumerated in paragraph 1. So anyone who is of Hispanic descent, has been in a gang or has gang affiliations, will be deemed to have committed an act of terrorism. So basically, according to this bill, which was introduced by J.J. Humphreys, any person in the state of Oklahoma who is defined as Hispanic is a terrorist just for existing. And they will also have all their property seized. Do you understand now? The whole bill is 2 pages. So find the article and read it for yourself, because essentially that's what it does. It labels any Hispanic person a terrorist. So someone...
Let me tell y'all, that right there is that's the new state of affairs. And this for all you God love everybody Christians, and for all of you that love the system and love the way things going. You either you hate blacks and Latinos, or you're just a selfish pig that you can't see the handwriting on the wall. Like, and here's the thing: if you're labeled a terrorist, how much time can they give you? Like what's like, how does that work? If you're labeled a terrorist, can they just throw you in prison and never let you out? You're a terrorist then. Like once again, all the terrorists in the world ain't gonna compare to how they want to make us the terrorists. It always comes back to us. Like the Arabs knock down the tower, but the Latinos get the tag for terrorists, not the Arabs. Not any Arab man that's committed a crime in America, they're not gonna make them a terrorist. Anyone that's of Arab descent, they ain't gonna make them a terrorist. But any brother that is just a Latino that ever committed a crime, they want to put you in the prison. They want to stick you in there. And if I could, real quick before I yield, Fakad Bun Rubin made a great point. The black codes, like no loitering, rules to just lock us up. That's a good point you brought out, brother. Like that, or a sister. I'm not sure if that's a brother or a sister. I think it's a brother from the picture. Yeah, it's a brother. Big shout out to you, Warren.
He out there, Alabama, sir. That's Picard.
Oh, okay. Big shout out to Picard. Okay, out in Alabama, man. You understand? General Kabbalah said they did this in El Salvador with 70,000 inmates. They locked up in less than a year. I remember that because they had them all sitting in underwear and putting their heads against each other. It was like a horrific situation I heard going on down there. You understand? Like, this is insanity, man. The whole world is getting ready to fall apart. And this is the time for us to wake up, man, and return back to the Most High and become part of his empire. I yield. Let me let y'all get in before we go.
So like if I could, General, it's so heavy. It's like the book of Esther. Like, we are always a potential enemy of the state.
That's right.
In this place. And that's what you've been telling our people for so long. They think that we think that we are a part of this place, but we're always a potential enemy of the state, no matter what position that we are in, because this is not our rest. So like, I yield, sir.
So true, bro. Go ahead, Joe.
And just to add to what you were saying too, with the whole terrorists, like you could tell that, you know what I mean, that the oppressor, he just bloodthirsty. You know what I mean? Because what do they do with terrorists when they call them terrorists across the Middle East? They do what? They drop bombs and they shoot to kill. You know what I mean? So who says what they're going to do to, because they're not going to take the land. They're going to take whatever land they're on. So now you know what I mean? You making laws to make stealing legal. You know what I mean? And now black people should understand there is no reparations for us. None whatsoever. Because the same thing they're doing here right now, they did in that White House to put you in slavery. You understand? It was legal for you to be a slave. No reparations for you. Wake up.
Yeah. So if I could too, so go ahead, Kwame.
I just want to make a quick point off of what Captain Doc said. Yeah, you're right, sir, that we are going to get reparations, but in a sense we did. Your reparations is that prison system. You want some money? You got $1 billion prison to go live in. We'll give you some money, but you're gonna have to get it in those type of places. And it shows you how much money they have to, even if they really were genuine and sincere and wanted to actually pay for what they did to us and show a token of appreciation, they would have some sense of pay us in some degree. But we'd rather imprison you, you know what I mean, and give you that reparation. It's a life sentence, you know what I mean? I yield. So
that's right. If I could, Hebrew Negro Root said, we are an enemy, good or bad. He's so right. Like, good or bad. You understand? And now General Q said they're supposed to be looking for Jewish tunnels all over America. You right. Yeah, man. You absolutely right.
That's right.
Man.
General, if I could,
please.
There was this book I came across recently called the what's called the disappearing effect of race in America. Even like this brother did a study on how you know the race, just the flat out racism card is not holding weight in white society because of the gentrification, the economic factors, the redlining, and all that type of stuff. Is down there, you have to hit them with that argument. And he wrote this book in 1975. And in 1975, he was saying that, you know, the achievements of black people since the 1900s was so great in the middle class that he doesn't see anything stopping the growth of that middle class unless there is a worldwide recession, number one. And the other thing was what it was, a worldwide recession and something else. Two things he named that he said he didn't see happening. And we just went through with one with the pandemic. And I forget the other thing he said. And he said once if that, he said a worldwide recession, or when they start pushing back on stuff like affirmative action and the place for equal opportunity. And now we're seeing that with the Strike It Down. He said once that happens, you'll see America go back to its traditional racist economic structure.
Yeah.
So to see these things come into play where you saying so-called Hispanic tribes are going to be labeled terrorists, if you find any kind of affiliation to any gang activity. Meanwhile, you got cops who have KKK membership and neo-Nazi membership. You got January 6 people who have all kind of alt-right and radical, all kind of guerrilla warfare membership. You have these Palestinians who protesting. They was painting the steps of the monuments in DC with red paint. That's not they had the National not the National Guard, the DC service men scrubbing them steps down. They ain't terrorists. They recently in DC they had these Chinese and Vietnamese immigrants running scams with the gift cards in Target. All the gift cards, they don't have the numbers. So when you buy it and load it to your account, they could wipe your account out. They ain't labeling them as terrorists. Everybody else could come in with all kind of affiliations. The Jewish mafia. You mean to tell me no small hat today is related to the Jewish mafia? Nobody related to Murder Inc. But yet, Black people alone, America is turning back to that real old racist economic ways. And it's the line gonna be drawn in the sand now where we gonna really have to choose which side we on. Because they ain't playing that type of game anymore.
And if I could, just for the record, the so-called small hats are the ones that created the mafia. They started the mafia and brought the Italians in and then made tons of movies, had the Italians make all these mafia movies like the Italians were the mafia and the mobsters to wipe out their history when they're the ones that started it, you understand? And use the Italians as their little subjugates underneath them and push them out there like they was the real mobsters when you don't even know where the small hats mobs emerged to. Leave it to our ignorance. We think that the small hats had a small part in it years and years ago. Meanwhile, they still running it, and they running it like legitimate businesses or something. I gotta give a shout out to my daughter Sharara Naya Howard. She said, make it more easier for prison to be comfortable to be a content slave. You're so right. So right, sis. Like to be a content slave is such a true thing, which is what they do. For the ones that don't actually go inside the cage, that's exactly what they create. This is the time for us to truly wake up. You know what I'm saying? Like never before. I don't want to keep y'all, man. I think it's time we wrap it up. Anybody else want to get in before we go?
No, something to us.
For having me, y'all.
The Most High in Christ, to while for coming on, sir. I mean, always good to have you.
Damn right. For everybody listening out there, that anybody that's new, you can join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. We do it up at 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on this Commander General Yahanna channel, man. Big shout out to all the brothers in all the camps everywhere. You understand? We'll be in North and South Carolina next month, July 22nd, 3rd, and 4th. We're having a speaking out there. Plus, we'll be closing out, opening and closing the Feast of Purim. Look for General Muhammad. General Muhammad will be in Austin, Texas. I don't have the date. Somebody got the date, let me know. But General Muhammad will be in Austin, Texas. That's coming up real soon. Also, February 6th, Captain Cesaria will be on that show. What is that show? 85 something or something 85? Anybody know?
85 South, but I think we're going to move back to the 20th or something.
Oh, okay. So we'll get the new dates on that. Big shout out to Captain Mashak Mayan for running this show every Saturday, man. All the captains and officers in the building with us in here tonight. I want to tell everybody, pay your tithes, man. ISUPK.com is the website. Pay your tithes and support this truth so we can further this work. Lord willing, man. We'll see y'all next time live on the UPK. Shalom, fam. Passover, too. Passover coming up, y'all. Pay your Passover. Join us in North Carolina for the Passover. I'll see y'all next time live on UPK. Shalom, fam. Shalom, brother. Shalom.
on 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and their head with that shit.
Fine then, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, I'm too solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They say you been in beast mode lately, you is not yourself. When you dropping that fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspiring. Cross the line, them firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin. No kindness, I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. In the field like Jeepers Creepers, say they want some smoke, dawg. So I brought these chimney sweeps. Coming like we coming, you can't even cap. These niggas don't run it like we run it, bitch, don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till them do us part. So if you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch. Bless your heart, fine in. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. I heard they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rate for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully focused. You might not see it on me, just know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told them I need major motion. Think I'm joking, I'ma school them niggas.